Pokemon Violet, the newest entry in the mainline Pokemon series. I wanted to impose a fun challenge on myself, so I decided to try a Nuzlocke using only Fuecoco. I named myself Meowmix because, just like chicken and liver, I will always deliver. That's a stupid fucking joke. I quickly expressed my biggest frustration with the game. I'm skipping through all this dialogue because I know I have an hour ahead of me. And that is unfortunately the case. The open world aspect of the game doesn't really come into fruition for just about an hour or so into the game. But in the meantime, you can watch me lose my mind over how amazing Fuecoco is. Oh, look at that guy. Look at this little dude. There's not a single original thought coming out of his mind. I love him. I love Fuecoco so much. God, look at the way he looks up at me. Look at the little guy. Look at that little guy. Look at that little guy. Look at him. He's so cute. I love him. Stop. How does he even fit on my arm? Oh, look at the chunky little fella. Obviously, I named him Chunky Fella, and together we start our not-so-long journey through Paldea. But first, we must fight our rival, Nemona, who might actually be my favorite rival. She actively chooses to go on easy on us, which I personally think is hilarious. For those who have not beaten the game yet, she's considered a champion-ranked trainer, so she's purposefully limiting herself throughout the entire course of the game, which I thought was a pretty cool gimmick. After cooking this cat alive, Fuecoco and I officially started the run after Nemona provided us with a catching tutorial. But because we only need Fuecoco, we will never have to use these. This is one of my favorite clips just because we see Fuecoco just absolutely terrorize an ecosystem full of Hoppips, and I don't know why, that's just so fucking funny to me. We hear a mysterious cry coming from the distance. As we're checking the noise out, we fall off a cliff after seeing a weird purple dog motorcycle thing lying on the beach. Okay, how the fuck? We feed it a sandwich, and for whatever reason it goes Super Saiyan. Totally not turning into an extremely phallic shape during this cutscene. To be honest, these cutscenes aren't, like, incredibly important, but after Purple Clifford escorts us out of the cave, we meet our second rival, Arven, who has mommy or daddy issues depending on the game you choose. We cooked his precious squirrel and take some time to admire the beautiful scenery from this game. Yes, another cutscene. Yes. Yes. Oh, look at all those polygons. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not disappointing in the slightest, at least for Game Freak's standards, but don't have the audacity to say forests when there's clearly no forest. After swiftly being the harbinger of chaos in this community, Fuecoco and I yet again fight Nemona, where she teaches us about this game's gimmick, terastallization. And this fight honestly scared the fuck out of me, because her Palmy only left me with about 3 HP. We were able to acquire the most important item of the entire run, the Everstone, ensuring that our chunky little lad would stay his perfect little self for the rest of the run. I really wish they took a little more pride in making the antagonist actually interesting. Team Star is not bad by any means, but to be completely candid, their storyline is just kind of forgettable, in my opinion. After dealing with them, we meet up with Arven and agree to help him in his hunt for Titan Pokemon, while also agreeing to help a character named Cassiopeia, who we totally haven't met yet, in taking down Team Star. Here, I completely forgot that my character's name is Meowmix, and it just kills me every time whenever Director Clavel says Master Meowmix. We also meet the professor. Because I chose Violet, we are introduced to Arven's father, Professor Turo, who asks us to look after Purple Clifford. And after taking a quick break, I had to mentally prep myself for another half hour of unskippable cutscenes and information. But at least we had the chance to meet the current champion of the region, who is absolutely one of my favorites. And for whatever reason they added a time skip? I don't really know why they did this, but I mean, I guess that's okay, there's more time in the video. And after 90 minutes of mashing the A button, we can finally begin our journey. This gives me a chance to briefly explain some of the rules. Because the game is so non-linear, I wanted to prioritize the Victory Road challenge. However, I will try my best to incorporate the other two storylines when I can. I tried my best to have a soft level cap. I didn't want to be too over-leveled going into these gym challenges, so I kept it at about 5 levels above the next gym leader's ace. And finally, I am allowing healing items in the battle, just so I can give myself a little bit of a chance. Now, I arrived at the first gym and had to complete an incredibly innovative gym test, something we must complete before battling the gym leader. For this one in specific, I had to move a giant fucking olive through an obstacle course. Now again, don't get me wrong, I actually really appreciate the fact that they're trying something new with this. And after teaching our chunky little fella Incinerate, we then took on Katie, the bug gym leader. I do have to give a lot of credit to Game Freak for making all of these gym leaders have their own personality, with the best one obviously being Larry, the normal type gym leader. For this fight, the type matchup was obviously in my favor, so I incinerated both Nibble and Tarantula, while our ace did not stand a chance against our hefty little protagonist. We basically swept the first gym with ease. After, we then pulled a 180 and went back east to the second gym, passing the first Titan, Cloth, which we will get back to later.
Oh, we're coming back for you, don't worry.
After briefly shitting my pants avoiding another Nemona fight, we immediately start the second gym test, which is essentially a hide and seek game with 10 Sunflora. It's not hard, but it's pretty fucking funny seeing them operate at a solid 2 FPS. And now, we confront the second gym leader, Brassius, the grass type trainer. Again, we are in a very solid position strictly because of our type advantage. So, as expected, we annihilated Petilil and smoked Smoliv. I was a little nervous about his ace, for the sole reason that it knows the move Rock Throw. After taking a rock to the face like a goddamn champ, our fat fire crocodile one-shot the Sudowoodo into oblivion. And with that, we beat the second gym. At this point, it was imperative that we took out trainers in East Province Area 2. Not only does it reward us with a solid amount of XP for our protagonist, but the reward for completing these bounties was the move Stomping Tantrum, a ground type move that Fuecoco can learn. After learning the hard way that we can't swim,
Oh shit.
we searched around the area to defeat 6 trainers, and as a result for completing our bounty, we were given the TM for Stomping Tantrum, which alone has the ability to alleviate a triple threat that's approaching us. The first problem was a rock-type Titan Pokemon Cloth. After realizing the moveset that this Pokemon has, it really wasn't that much of a challenge. And with our newfound ground-type move, Fuecoco had the ability to easily decimate this pathetic excuse for a challenge. With Arvin joining us for round 2, together we fucked up Mr. Krabs yet again with not much trouble. And after this battle, my ego shot through the roof. I really thought that we had a chance at making it far into this casual run. Then, our second obstacle was our rival Nemona. I did some research into our third fight, and was worried about the Pokemon she sends out first, Rockruff. Being at a type disadvantage, I thought for sure I was going to get one-shot by the Rock Throw. However, our hefty lad took it straight on and threw an adorable tantrum to retaliate it. It didn't KO, but it ensured that it would get a chance to kill it next turn. Then, she sends out Palmy, the little electric rat that almost killed me towards the beginning of the game. And after it gets a critical hit, Fuecoco claps back and ruins its day, but in doing so, our chunky fella got paralyzed. Now, she sends out her ace, and I knew for sure I was going to easily win this. It's okay, surely it won't happen again, right? Okay, it used Hung Claw 3 times, and I got paralyzed twice. This should have been an easy fight, but honestly I have no idea what's going on. And thank fucking god it didn't happen again. We ended up winning the fight despite having a minor scare. If anything, this match humbled me, and reminded me that Fuecoco is mortal, and we can lose the run at any time. Therefore, I wanted to train up the chunky lad to level 28, so he could learn the move Flamethrower. And now, the third problem presents itself. Iono. This electric type gym leader has 3 Pokemon that can prove to be problematic, one of which is a literal tank, and 2 of which cannot be affected by Stomping Tantrum. I'm going into this fight thinking I'm so fucked. But first, we have to complete the gym test, a bootleg version of Where's Waldo followed by fighting the streamer's Twitch moderators. Despite how easy this was, I actually really enjoyed doing this gym challenge. It might have been my favorite one just because of how interactive and just fresh this take was. After swiftly beating the streamer's test, I finally decided to take her on. Wait, what the fuck? Electro King donated $5,000? Jesus Christ. Anyways, let's start the fight. We terastallize and use Flamethrower, which one-shots this stupid-ass bird. But now, the literal tank known as Belly Bolt comes out, which has the ability Electromorphosis, which boosts its attack just by getting hit. I should have definitely healed here considering I was under half health, but I thought I was going to be able to survive this hit. And unfortunately, it knocks out our protagonist in a very anticlimactic ending. And just like that, the run was over. Despite the amount of cutscenes that I had to endure, I really enjoyed this casual run, and if there's one thing I learned, I should never try one of these challenges again.